Welcome back, friends, to another episode of the Garagemahal build. Today is an especially exciting day for me. We're putting in flooring tiles. These are RaceDeck Free-Flow tiles. The reason why it's so exciting is twofold. One, I don't have to completely empty out the garage anymore anytime I want to work in here. And two, I will no longer be tracking a bunch of dust and dirt into our laundry room every time I enter the house from the garage. Because one of the benefits of having these kind of floor tiles is that everything kind of falls through them to the floor. So the tile and the walking surface stays very clean. And it's also, I use a shop vac so I can clean the actual floor through the tiles. So it's just a lot easier to keep clean. The reason I went with RaceDeck is because I didn't want to do the epoxy route because in hot weather it has a tendency to lift under your tires, and compared to other garage flooring tiles, these are much more moderately priced. I put these in at a rental apartment, an apartment that I rented before buying this house, and it was really nice because I was able to lift them up and bring them with me. It was really easy to put them in and also take them out. So if you want to spice up your garage and you rent, this is an excellent option for you. What you're looking at here is about 120 of both colors, alloy and gray, black, and so 240 total, and I'm sitting on another, I think roughly 200. The garage at the apartment was a 1-car and this is a 2-car, so there's a little extra space in the back, so I think this should be enough to cover it. I do want to say I got these from garageflooringllc.com, and I just had such a wonderful experience buying from them. The president, this cat named Justin, reached out just to make sure I was happy with the purchase and that everything went well, and if I had any questions. And I've had a bit of a back and forth with them about edging pieces, and they're always very responsive, and I feel like right now especially is a great time to vote with your dollar. So buying from a local place, like a mom and pop kind of place. This guy's, these guys are located out in Colorado. I just think it's a lot cooler to buy from the smaller guys than from these big corporate, entities. Anyways, I rinsed these off yesterday because there was a lot of residue powder on them from sanding the drywall. So these are a little bit wet still. They haven't yet dried off, but they'll go together all the same. Really quick installation, super easy, and it's going to make a huge difference in here. So I'm going to bring you guys in here to show you how to put it together if you guys decide to do tiling yourselves, and we'll get this one out of the way. So I closed the garage door to show you, it had really harsh lighting. The sun was coming in, and it's really important how you start laying the tiles down. The garage door is on that side of the room. You want to start with a flat edge against the wall, and I'm using the same trim across the entire length of the garage door side, so I'm going to include that. I know I have to get a couple more of these. I don't know how many yet, but I'll put them here and there throughout that front edge. So it's pretty easy to connect all these things. Use a mallet if you'd like, or you can step on them using a mallet. So that's the starting point. From that starting point, you just want to lay out your design. I'm just alternating one and one. You could put 4 of these together and make bigger squares. Again, I'm just doing 1 and 1, and since I'm using new and old tiles, I'm going to alternate new tile, old tile, new tile, old tile. And then on the next row, I'll change. So like this first row will be the new blacks. The next row I'll use new grays or new alloys. So surprisingly though, the old ones, which were in use for over a year, are pretty like they don't look any more worn than the new ones. Maybe a little bit of the you know, the new has worn off, but I don't think it'll be very noticeable. So this front row again is going to be the new blacks and old grays or old alloys, and I'm just going to lay them out. Every few I'll put a trim piece just to make sure the spacing from the lip of the garage is even throughout this first row. Getting the first row laid out took all of 2 minutes. And as you can see, I stopped here where there's going to be a cut piece. I'm going to do all the cut pieces at the end. And the next step would be to do the same exact thing, laying a complete row down that wall of the garage. So I have all these laid out. And I started putting this row together, but I wanted to show you in real time how quickly these actually do go together. And if you make a mistake or you want to change a tile or you decide, it's equally as easy to take them apart. So no need to be intimidated on the actual install of these things. So now that the front row's laid out and the side row's laid out, the next step is just to fill the rest of them in. And again, I leave the pieces that I have to cut for last. I don't know if that's right or not, but that's how I did it before and it seemed to work out pretty well. That way I can kind of move things around. I keep an eye on the spacing in the front and on the sides, because these are perfectly square, but that doesn't mean the room is going to be perfectly square. So, yep, just fill in the rest, and then we'll get the cut pieces. So what you're looking at is about 2 hours worth of work. Actually, exactly 2 hours. And that includes unloading the groceries and having a conversation with one of my neighbors. So I did lay out some of the edge pieces to make sure I had enough, which I do, with some to spare, which I like. Not that I damaged any at the old place, but just in case something should happen, I would like to have the replacement on hand rather than having to wait for something to be shipped. So I am glad that there's going to be enough tiles with a few to spare. So time to do the edge pieces. I am going to use a jigsaw. I don't have either a circular saw or like a compound miter saw, which would probably be best. But we'll see how the jigsaw does. I think the last time I did this, I used actually a Dremel tool, which, you know, just took a while. But we'll see how the jigsaw works, and I have other cutting instruments. Might have to just do it by hand, or I might have to go get a saw. I don't know, but we'll see how this goes. Okay, so these were the cut ones from the apartment. You can see I have this side cut, and I'm going to cut them again. So first thing I do is line them up, kind of tight to the wall. Make a mark with a Sharpie. And then I take it over to the workbench. Take my square here. You can see where I marked the line. I'm going to cut this one. Let's give it a little bit more because that was pretty tight. There we go. Hang it off the edge there. And go slow here. That's nice. Cut this one a little short. Could have made this one longer. So now we just do that about 100 more times. So that's it. All done. Even if I did have a circular saw, I would still opt for the jigsaw. It worked really, really well. I was able to get some pretty precise cuts. On one piece in particular, I had to make 1, 2, 3, 4 cuts on one piece just to get around some of the edging. But I'm very pleased with how it came out. Certainly pleased with the speed and accuracy of the jigsaw. I can't remember how I did it the first time, but the jigsaw was definitely the right way to go. So I hope if you guys are redoing a garage or anything like that and you're considering redoing the floor, to really give this stuff some consideration. Honestly, it makes the garage feel more like another room in the house than just a garage. It's not, I don't know. It certainly makes it feel a lot cleaner. It makes it cleaner going from outside to inside. And it gives it more of a finished appearance. It certainly has added to our experience of living spaces. So I'm not exactly sure what is next. Probably cabinetry. We'll get the cabinetry up. But for now, if you have any questions or anything, down below in the comment section. And I'll catch you on the next episode here in Garagemahal. Thanks.